Welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Tusk D-Flex handguards with the integrated turn signal option. If you've watched the previous videos, you'll have seen these on my KLR 650, and I subsequently have put them on the KTM 1090R. However, on the KLR 650, I had them wired up and they did work. However, when you turn the turn signal on, they would blink really fast. The reason for this is there's a difference in resistance between the bulb turn signal that most motorcycles come with and the LEDs, which is actually what the turn signals use in the D-Flex handguards. So what that means is that you're going to need one of these little devices. This particular one is a Sylvania, but essentially what it is and what it does is it is a resistor or a load equalizer, and what it does is it places additional resistance so that the LEDs mimic the resistance of a bulb. The challenge with installing these is that you need to find a place on your motorcycle that can resist the heat. Since they're creating resistance, with resistance comes heat, and so if you put them on plastic parts, it could melt. So when you're installing these, be very careful in terms of their placement. These D-Flex handguards do a phenomenal job of protection. I have dropped the bike I don't know how many times in all kinds of conditions, from dirt to mud to rocks, and they have not failed me yet. They have a clamp mount that goes over the bar here. That comes in different sizes. So when you're ordering them, be sure that you check your size of your bar and order the appropriate clamp. Once you have that clamp, they are very, very simple to install. You simply wrap the clamp around the bar, line it up with the bar end. There's an insert that goes into here if your bar ends aren't threaded. If your bar ends are already threaded from the manufacturer, then you can go ahead and just reuse those. If not, you'll insert what looks like a drywall anchor into the end of the bar, and as you tighten up, it expands, and that's essentially what holds this end clamp here. Now, the amount of torque that you put on all of these bolts is really important, because if you over torque them, then there won't be any give to them at all. And in the situation of a drop, if the impact is significant, you can bend bars, especially if they're the smaller diameter bars. The KTM here uses the larger diameter, so it's not really an issue. But I really like these. The handguard faces are detachable via the screws up front here. The two of those, and you can swap them out for larger handguards or any other handguard offered by Tusk. The plastic covers have a little tray that the bar sits in, so that keeps them from wanting to move around while you're installing them. And even after they're installed, it gives a little bit of extra stability versus just the bolts. So all in all, I really like these handguards. They're relatively cheap and they've worked well on every motorcycle that I've had. However, as you can see from this side of the motorcycle, I have subsequently cracked my turn signal lens, and basically that is going to cause me to go ahead and do the install of these LED turn signals, and I will post back up with images and video once that install is complete. Again, what I'll need to do is install this resistor to make sure that they blink at the right rate. On the KTM in particular, it's a bit of a big job, otherwise I would just film it for you guys. You have to disassemble a lot of the front end fairings to get to the wiring for the turn signals. So I'll be doing that off camera, and again posting back once I have that install complete. However, if you have another motorcycle that's easier to get to, the install becomes dramatically less time consuming because it's just easier to get to those wires. Once you get to the wires, it's absolutely simple to install. You're basically going to put these resistors in line, then you're going to wire up your turn signals to the factory turn signals. Typically what I like to do, and it's personal preference, is go ahead and disconnect the wires to the OEM turn signal, because I'm going to be removing them anyway. Cut those and wire into those. The reason why I do that is so that the factory harness stays intact. Yes, it ruins the turn signal, but you could always rewire and resolder the original turn signals if you wanted to put it back to stock. And if you wanted to, you could buy net new turn signals and it would be back to original all the way through. Versus if you cut the wiring harness, obviously now you've modified the wiring harness that stays on the motorcycle. So that's another little tip that I'll add there. These Tusk brand are a house brand from Rocky Mountain ATV. I am not sponsored or affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form, but I will give them a lot of credit. Over the years, I've ordered a lot of items, including these handguards, and they're really quick with their shipping and they're really great with their customer service. I haven't had any problems with these handguards, but there have been some other items that came through. They weren't quite what I was looking for, or they were missing a part, and Rocky Mountain ATV was always really quick to respond to those customer service requests and resolve the issue. So I'm really happy with that company, and if you're ordering them, this is their house brand. So I do believe that there, and maybe Amazon, which then resells from them, are the only two places that you can get these. If you're looking to order them, I will put an affiliate link in the description below. If you use that link, obviously it helps support the channel at no cost to you, or you can go directly to rockymountainatv.com and order them there, or directly to amazon.com and order them there. Again, I don't have enough nice things to say about these handguards. I think for the price, there's not a whole lot else on the market. They are full aluminum, they wrap all the way around, they offer good crash protection as well as hand protection if you're riding through the woods. Limbs, trees, branches, thorns, those types of things stay off your hands. So I am a huge fan of them. I know a lot of people do not like fixed handguards. There are situations where it could cause injury or broken wrists. That's more, I think, in hard enduro type scenarios or motocross scenarios where you're more likely to be holding onto the bike, going through deeper, rougher sections and go over the bars, where what happens is as you're going over, your wrist catches on the handguard and it can break it. I've heard of this. I'm sure it is true. I've never personally experienced it, and I've run these handguards on off-road motorcycles as well as the ADV motorcycle here. So again, I highly recommend them, and hopefully this quick review was helpful. I will be following it up once I get the turn signals installed, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, be sure to click that subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified whenever we upload new videos, including the one after the install of this. If you like this video, be sure to give it a great big thumbs up and share it on social media. And as always, take care and ride safe.